here, and I have a couple already in the waiting room.
Your Honor, Mr. Hargis has informed me that he was booted offline and he's in the process of trying to rejoin the Zoom meeting.
Here, and I have a couple already in the waiting room. Okay.
He says he's in the waiting room.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start with the hearing. All right. The court is calling cause number 2020 DCM 3035. This is a hearing on a petition in suit affecting parent-child relationship. Parties in this case are Alejandro Diaz. Mr. Diaz, you're there?
Yes.
Need to speak up a little bit louder, please. And
Yes.
Lizeth Ortiz Tapia, you're there also, ma'am? Okay, let's try it again, Ms. Tapia Ortiz.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. This is a hearing that's scheduled for 9:15 today, September 29th. Parties are present. We are on the Zoom application because of the pandemic. But you are in front of me. I am the judge that's going to hear the case. My name is Antonio Rodriguez, the associate judge for the Title 40 court in this case. All right, I understand, Ms. Kaplan, there's an announcement to be made in this matter, or where are we on this case?
Yes, Your Honor. Lindsay Kaplan for the state, ready?
Okay, Ms. Ortiz and Mr. Diaz, would you please raise your right hands, please? You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right, Ms. Kaplan, where are we on this matter? Or call first witness, I guess.
The state calls Ms. Ortiz.
Okay, go ahead. She's been sworn in.
Ms. Ortiz, what is your name?
Lisa Tapia Ortiz.
And who are you married to?
Alejandro Diaz.
And when did you get married to Alejandro Diaz?
It was October the 31, 2019.
And that was after a child support order in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
And are you currently living with Mr. Diaz?
No, not at the moment.
Do you have plans? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But we're planning on moving together.
When do you plan to live together?
I couldn't say when.
Why are you not living together now?
Because we're barely talking on planning on getting back to living together.
Do you have any safety concerns regarding anyone?
No.
Has there ever been family violence between you and anyone?
No.
Has there ever been family violence between you and Mr. Diaz? Ma'am?
Excuse me?
Has there ever been family violence between you and Mr. Diaz?
Yes, in the past.
And for that reason, do you feel that it's in your best interest that your address and other personal information not be disclosed?
Yes.
And how are your children insured?
With Medicaid? Yes.
Do you have any other insurance for your children?
No.
And you do not wish to go forward with this court order here today, correct?
Correct.
Do you understand that the state is going forward with this action here today?
Yes.
How often does Mr. Diaz visit the children?
Like every weekend, every week.
And do you feel that it's in your children's best interest that he continue to visit every week?
Yes.
And where does he pick up the children?
In my house.
Is there any other location other than your house that Mr. Diaz could pick up the children for visitation?
In my mom's house.
And where is your mom's house?
It's in the same, just 4 block. It's in Horizon.
Do you feel safe with him picking up the children from your mom's house in Horizon?
Yes.
Do you know if Mr. Diaz is working?
Yes.
Do you know how much he earns at his job?
No.
Do you know what type of work he does?
Yes.
What type of work is that?
Well, he works at AutoZone.
What type of work does he do at AutoZone?
I think he's a manager there or assistant manager. I don't know.
And how long has he worked there?
I don't know.
Do you know if he has any other children besides the children with you?
No.
And when did you separate from Mr. Diaz?
It was on, I think it was in March.
March of this year?
Yes.
And do you have any plans to leave El Paso for work or educational purposes?
No.
No further questions for this witness. The state calls Mr. Diaz.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I'm here.
Sir, what is your name?
Alejandro Diaz.
And who are you married to?
Lisette Diaz. Lisette Tapia Ortiz.
And when did you get married?
Exactly October the 1st, 2019. In Texas, El Paso, Texas.
And that was after the first Office of the Attorney General child support order in this case, is that correct?
Can't remember exactly when was this, to be honest.
Okay. Your Honor, the state requests that the court take judicial notice of the prior order in this case, 2019 DCM 3993, that was filed with the court October 29th of 2019.
Yes, the court will take judicial notice of the previous court order, 2019 DCM 3993.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz, do you have safety concerns with anyone?
No,
Has there ever been family violence between you and anyone?
no,
Has there ever been family violence between you and Ms. Ortiz?
yes.
When was the last incident of family violence?
4 or 5 years ago, more or less. That was the last incident.
When did you separate from Ms. Ortiz?
think it was around the end of June, more or less. Can't remember exactly June.
That's when you stopped living together as a family unit?
Yes,
Have you provided support for the children since the separation?
yes, I have.
How much support have you provided?
I provided $400 a month.
And do you have any other children besides the children with Miss Ortiz?
No, only my children. That's it. With Lisette. That's it.
And where do you work, sir?
I work for AutoZone.
And what do you do at AutoZone?
We do sales, sell auto parts.
And how much do you earn at your job?
Monthly gross, weekly, yearly, or
How much do you earn hourly, sir?
hourly. $13 an hour.
And you work a 40-hour work week?
No, due to the pandemic, they started cutting hours. We like make like 30 hours a week, sometimes 32, but it's been like 30 hours, sometimes 28, depending on the sales. Our hours are based weekly, depending on the sales.
Do you get commission for sales?
No, AutoZone is not a commission workplace. It's only that's your pay rate and that's it. No tips, no commission, nothing. Just the hourly pay.
And that's $13 an hour?
Yes.
And you're saying now, due to the pandemic, you work 30 hours a week
Yes.
on average?
More or less, yes.
And do you have health insurance available for your children through your employer?
I don't have insurance for myself, but
Do
my
your
kid.
children have
Yeah.
insurance?
I'm sorry. What was that again?
Do your children have insurance, sir?
Yes.
What type of insurance?
Thanks to the state with Medicaid.
Is there any other insurance available to your children that you're aware of?
No.
Plans to move outside of El Paso for work or educational purposes?
No.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Any other evidence?
Permission to recall Ms. Ortiz?
Yes.
Ma'am, are you able to share in major decision-making with Mr. Diaz regarding your children?
What do you mean?
Regarding which doctor your children see or which school your children attend, whether or not your children should get braces, things of that nature.
Yes.
And would you like to continue to participate in major decision-making going forward with Mr. Diaz?
Yes.
No further questions for Ms. Ortiz at this time? Pass the witness.
Any other evidence?
Permission to recall Mr. Diaz?
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Diaz, would you like the opportunity to participate in major decision-making with Ms. Ortiz regarding your children going forward?
Yes.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Tapia Ortiz,
Yes.
at the beginning of this hearing, you told me, or you mentioned that you didn't want to proceed in this matter any further.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
You understand that the state is asking that child support, medical support be set in this case. Are you telling me you don't want any of those matters to be decided on today?
I understand.
Is that what you're telling me, ma'am?
Yes.
When is it that you and Mr. Diaz will start living together again? Or is that still up in the air?
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, you just keep saying yes. I want you to tell me, is it your all's intentions to start living together again?
Yes, that are my intentions to live together again. We're planning on getting back together. So yes, I just wanna move forward with that.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, state.
Your Honor, the state has calculated guideline child support based on 3 children before the court and no others, an hourly wage of $13 an hour at a 40-hour work week with a per medical support amount of $76. The guideline child support amount has been calculated to be uh, $425.79 for 3 children. Rounded to the nearest dollar, it's $426 with a step down amount of 2 children before the court for $354.83. Rounded to the nearest dollar is $355. And for a final step down amount with 1 child before the court of $283.86, rounded to the nearest dollar to be $284, Your Honor.
Ms. The state is recommending that I set child support in this case at $485 a month, medical support to cover the health insurance at $76 a month. Are you asking me to set this child support, ma'am?
No,
Why is that?
I wanna cancel the
Ma'am, you're
case.
breaking up. I cannot understand you.
I wanna cancel the case.
All right, Ms. Kaplan, anything else?
The state defers to the court regarding the conservatorship, geographic restriction, and visitation issues. The state would request a neutral visitation exchange location of the maternal grandmother's residence for exchange of the children for the purpose of visitation. The state would request to continue the non-disclosure of Ms. Ortiz's information for her continued safety. And the state has calculated a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $150, giving credit for the payments that have been given of $400 since the separation. And the state defers to the court regarding whether or not to award the child support, medical, and retro as calculated.
All right, based on the testimony today, we're going to appoint both parties, joint managing conservators of the children. Visitation will be at whatever times parties can agree upon, as long as y'all are being reasonable with each other. There'll be there'll be a geographical restriction to El Paso County, Texas. It appears that the request for non-disclosure has been waived by the custodial parent, so no, all information will be contained in the court order. Court is not going to set child support in this case based on Ms. Tapias Ortiz's request, so no child support. However, I will set medical support as long as the children continue to be covered on state insurance plan, either TIP or Medicaid. Order medical support to be set at $76 a month, commencing October 1. No retroactive support, no back child support. Um, to address Ms. Kaplan.
Nothing further from the state at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ortiz Tapia, do you have any questions? Did you understand my ruling here today, ma'am?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Mr. Diaz, do you have any questions? Do you understand my ruling here today, sir?
Yes. For the Medicaid cost is gonna be, can you repeat the information and for how long or what's gonna happen with the medical insurance?
Okay, as long as the children are covered on health insurance, either Medicaid or CHIPS, medical support is being set at $76 a month.
Okay,
Commencing October 1. That's Thursday of this week. Okay.
okay,
As long as the children are covered on Medicaid, CHIP, then you have to pay the medical support. Now,
okay,
if in fact you all do start living together in the same household, you can ask that the children not be covered on Medicaid, but as long as they're on Medicaid, $76 a month.
okay.
Now,
Yes,
if
sir.
you decide you can to go ahead and put the children on your health insurance, Mr. Diaz,
Okay,
you can change that. Okay.
okay.
But
Yes,
right
sir.
now, the kids are covered on Medicaid, so that's why I'm ordering medical support at this time only.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other questions, Mr. Diaz?
No, not at all.
All right, very well. All right, Ms. Kaplan, write up the order. I'll sign it today. That concludes our hearing in this case. Parties are excused. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can go ahead and sign off now. All right, so okay, waiting for the parties to exit. I have two couples. Mr. Felix and Ms. Madrid. Mr. Felix, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Madrid, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. You want to talk to them individually, or do we go ahead and proceed to a hearing?
Judge,
I'd like to proceed to a hearing, Your Honor, in the interest of time.
Okay. Then I have the other couple, Ricardo Vasquez and Angelica Escorza.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's see. All right. What are we doing that one?
I'd like to have a hearing on that one as well, Your Honor.
Well, okay. One of y'all have to talk to one of the couples, okay? The parties have already been waiting half an hour.
Yes, Your Honor. Could Mr. Hargis please talk to Angelica Escorza and Ricardo Vasquez?
yes, Your Honor, I can do that.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out who LGK40 is, the man with the white cap. Who are you, sir? I can't hear you, sir. Okay, let's try it again. Can you just tell me your name, sir? Man with a white cap. Does anybody recognize who this individual is? Everybody should be unmuted already.
It's Ricardo Vasquez, sir.
You're Mr. Vasquez. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Judge, we can talk to these parties in the same breakout room.
Which one's Mr. Vargas?
Mr. Vasquez and Miss Escorza.
Yes.
I apologize earlier, I was booted off the internet, so I lost.
Yeah, no,
connection.
I got a message that happened, Mr. Vargas, so let me figure out which room. I want to make sure that I send the right persons to the breakout room. Okay, Mr. Vasquez and Ms. Escort, I'm going to move you into a breakout room so that you can discuss your case with the Attorney General.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hargis, I'm trying to move you into breakout room number 1.
Okay. So far, it hasn't popped up yet.
No, I haven't opened it yet.
Okay.
I was just saying I can't find you.
Here you go. Okay, which one?
Oh, there you are. Breakout room number 1, Mr. Hargis, Mrs. Corsa, and Vasquez.
Thank you.
Okay. Nobody else join any rooms yet, okay? Please. I don't want to lose y'all. Okay, I think Ms. Madrid went to a breakout room. And she's back. All right. Madrid, you're here?
Yes.
Mr. Felix, you're here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Kaplan, how do you want to proceed hearing, or you want to talk to the parties?
May I go straight to a hearing, Your Honor, in the interest of time?
Okay, all right. All right, the court is calling cause number 2020 DCM 3065. This is a hearing on a petition in suit affecting parent-child relationship and a paternity action. There are 2 children before the court. Parties in this case are Ismael Felix and Jasmine Madrid, who are present before me on this Zoom application. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I'm the associate judge for the Title 40 court here in El Paso, Texas. We are proceeding in the Zoom application because of the pandemic crisis that's going on. We're not allowed to have any in-person hearings at the courthouse. As parties not to talk over each other. Sometimes the audio portion of this hearing, sometimes we may have some technical difficulties. And if that should happen and you get booted out, just come back in, sign in again, and I'll let you back in, okay? I'll ask parties not to talk over each other because of the audio problems that we may have, okay? In that regard, let me go ahead and ask the Attorney General to make an announcement on this case.
Lindsay Kaplan for the state, Your Honor, ready?
All right. Ms. Felix and Ms. Madrid, would you please raise your right hand so I can swear you in? Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I need an answer from both of you, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, go ahead, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state requests that the court take judicial notice of the petition to establish the parent-child relationship and petition in suit affecting the parent-child relationship, AOP, that was filed with the court June 24th, 2020 at 1:09 p.m.
All right, I do see the one acknowledgement of paternity was filed with the case. That's the petition. I will take the acknowledgement, take notice of the acknowledgement of paternity. I believe that was filed pertaining to the child Ismael Jr.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. Feliz as a witness.
Go ahead.
Sir, what is your name?
Ismael Feliz?
Sir, would you like parentage testing regarding Hunt's Madrid?
No, ma'am.
So you wish to go forward regarding both of these children without the benefit of parentage testing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the father of both of these children, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you participate in major decision making regarding both children?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to continue to participate in major decision making regarding both children?
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like your children's last name to be?
No, I wouldn't any change.
So Hunts should continue to have the last name Madrid, and Ismail Jr. should continue to have the last name Feliz.
Yes, ma'am.
And why is it in the best interest of your children to have two different last names?
My oldest son, Hans Madrid, he already knows his name. I couldn't change it.
And when did you separate from Miss Madrid?
I think we already have like 8 months separated.
And do you have any plans to leave El Paso for work or educational purposes?
Yes, ma'am.
And where do you plan to go?
I'm planning to go to California.
And why are you planning to go to California?
The job opportunities.
What job?
I'm trying to go into biochemistry.
Have you received a job offer from a company in California?
No, not yet.
Have you had an interview for a job in California?
No, not yet.
Do you have a degree in biochemistry?
No, ma'am.
How do you intend to get a job in biochemistry without a degree?
I plan to go to tech school for biochemistry and then after that go to California.
Are you in tech school now?
No, ma'am. I'm looking to get in. I'm looking for the tech schools, which I'm looking into different tech schools right now.
Is there a tech school in El Paso?
Yes, there's a few.
Why is it in the best interest of your children that you move to California?
I need to support my children one way or another.
What type of work do you do now?
Right now, a self-contractor.
What type of contracting work do you do?
It's cement work. Uh, that's basically all it is, cement work.
How much do you earn at your job?
Anywhere from 400 to 600 a week.
How many hours a week do you work?
Depends on the job. The hours is not what comes in the contract. We're getting paid by contract, not by hours.
Are you under a contract now?
No, not right now.
Are you working now?
No, I already have like 3 days that I haven't gone to work.
How much did you work last week?
Last week I worked 6 days.
How much did you earn?
I won 357.
Do you have any other children besides the two children in this case?
I have another one on the way.
And is going to live with you?
Yes,
When is that child due?
it's in February.
Do you have health insurance available for your children in this case?
Excuse me?
Do you have health insurance for your children in this case?
Which children?
Can you repeat that, sir?
Which children, please?
The children in this case, Ismail Jr. and Hunt's, do you have children? I mean, do you have health insurance for those children?
No.
And these are the only two children that you have now that have been born, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you given any support since the separation 8 months ago?
No, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Madrid.
All
Yes,
right, go ahead.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Jasmine Madrid.
And who are you the mother of?
I am the mother of Hans Madrid and Ismael Feliz Jr.
And who do they live with?
They live with me, ma'am.
How long have they lived with you?
Their whole life. 2 years already.
And who is the father of your children, ma'am?
Ismael Feliz.
Could anyone else be the father of your children?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to request genetic testing regarding your children?
No, ma'am.
Have you been able to participate in parenting decisions with Mr. Feliz in the past?
We've tried, but nothing works, ma'am.
Who makes the major decisions for your children?
I'm sorry?
Who makes the major decisions for your children?
We both do.
Would you like to continue to make decisions with Mr. Feliz about your children in the future?
I don't know. I have my children half of the time, so I honestly don't know.
Has Mr. Feliz made any medical or educational decisions with you in the past?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to give him an opportunity to participate in medical and educational decisions in the future?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any plans to leave El Paso for work or educational purposes?
No, ma'am.
And how often does Mr. Feliz visit your children?
Like 2 to 3 times every month.
And would you like him to continue to visit your children?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know how much he earns at his,
I'm sorry?
do you know how much he earns at his job?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if he has any other children besides your 2 children?
I know that his girlfriend's pregnant, but that's about it.
And that child hasn't been born yet, correct?
No, ma'am.
How are your children insured?
They're on El Paso first. Medicaid
Is that,
by the state of El Paso, yes.
and is there any other health insurance available for your children?
No, that's about the only insurance they have right now.
And when did you separate from Mr. Feliz?
Yes, it's been exactly 8 to 9 months since my last son was born.
And has he provided any support since that time?
With Hans, he did. I believe I had a C-section when I had my second son, so he took care of my older son. Our older son, he took care of him for about, I want to say, about the time we were separated, maybe 5 months, 6 months.
Would you like back child support?
No, not for Hans.
Would you like back child support for Ismail?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
And how old is Ismail?
He is 1 already.
And you separated 8 or 9 months ago?
No, we separated like right when my son was born. Like not even, we lasted maybe a month left and then that's it. But he never really helped me with Ismail Jr., just with Hans.
And do you believe it's in the best interest of your children to have two last names?
No,
Would you like to change either of your children's last names?
no, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, any other evidence or testimony?
No other evidence or testimony from the state at this time, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Madrid,
Yes, sir.
concerning the last name of the children, Hans's last name is Madrid right now,
Yes, sir.
and Ismael is Felix.
Yes, sir.
And are you telling me that you want to continue that same surname for both of the children?
Yes, sir.
So that they should not have the same last name?
No. My son has my last name and my other son has his dad's.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure about that.
Okay.
Do you have any problem with Mr. Felix visiting with the children?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. When was the last time he saw them?
He saw Hans about, I want to say last week.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
He saw Hans last week, but he only sees like one at a time. He doesn't see both.
And last week, how long did he visit with them? An hour?
Just for one night. I mean, for one day, one night.
Okay. Do you and he have any problems with the visitation?
Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't.
Okay.
Sometimes there's problems
When
at
you
home.
do have problems, what is the problem?
Well, like he has problems at home and he lives with his mom, so I have to go pick up my son. Like he asks him for 3 days. I make plans for those 3 days, or maybe just a day in there, and then I have to go pick him up out of nowhere because there's a problem at home. So
Okay. Tell me again, how old is Ismael?
Ismael is 1. He just turned 1, sir.
Is how old?
Yes, sir. He walks.
No, how old is he?
Oh, I'm sorry. The oldest one is 2.
2? Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Felix, what kind of visitation, how often do you want to visit with the children?
I mean, as often as I can.
You're breaking up, sir. I can't hear you.
As often as I can.
Okay, I still couldn't hear you.
I would like to visit them as often as I can.
When do you think you might be leaving to California?
That's not anytime soon. That's within the future. That's not
Okay,
anytime soon.
so not anytime soon.
No, not anytime soon. That's just the plan for the future.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Kaplan, any other questions for either party?
No other questions from the state at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I will find that Mr. Felix is the father of the children. Children's last names will remain as they currently are. Ms. Madrid will be appointed both parties will be appointed joint managing conservators of the children. Ms. Madrid will have the primary possession of the children, so she decides where they live at all times. No geographical restriction. Visitation will be, because of the age of the children, whatever times and places that the parties can agree upon as far as visitation. So I'll leave it up to both parties to be reasonable with each other as far as visitation. Mr. Felix, if you can't visit with the children, just let her know that you can't visit with them, or you can't, whatever problems you may be having as far as visitation, okay? There's nothing worse than having the kids wait for you to show up and you don't show up. Okay, so just be reasonable with each other. Visitation. I don't believe there was any request for non-disclosure, so that issue is not addressed. Right, child support obligations, what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, based on 357 a week as testified to by Mr. Feliz, the state has calculated a gross monthly income of $1,547 with credit for a $69 cash medical. The guideline child support amount for 2 children before the court and no others is $327 with a step down of $262. Per Ms. Madrid's testimony, she is not seeking retroactive support for Hunts, but she is seeking retroactive support for Ismail. The retroactive child support amount was arrived at by calculating 262, which is the step down amount for the past 11 months, for a total of $2,882. The state is requesting a repayment of $50 a month until paid. All obligations to commence October 1st, Your Honor.
Okay. The retroactive support, that's for 11 months, even though the parties were separated, have been separated 8 months?
Per Ms. Madrid's testimony, the parties were separated a month after Ismail was born. Per Mr. Feliz's testimony, the parties were separated 8 or 9 months.
Well, I heard testimony, Ms. Madrid, you told me that you have been separated 8 months?
No, sir, it was like a month after my second child was born.
Okay, all right, I just want to clarify that because I thought you had said that you all had been separated 8 months. Okay, all right, Ms. Madrid, you heard the recommendation of the state with regard to the child support, medical support, and retroactive support. Are you in agreement with their recommendation, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir?
Are you in agreement with their recommendation as far
Yes,
as child
yes, sir.
support?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Okay. Tell me again, ma'am, because we're talking at the same time.
I said, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right. Mr. Felix, you heard the recommendation. Are you in agreement with their recommendation, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, tell me why not.
Because we've only been separated 8 months. I've been together with my girlfriend 8 months. That's when I separated from Jasmine. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and follow the recommendation of the state with regard to child support, medical support, and retroactive. Ms. Kaplan, I didn't get the payment on the retroactive judgment.
$50 a month, Your Honor, until paid beginning October 1st, 2020.
Okay, $50. Okay. All right, that'll be the order of the court. Anything else in this matter?
Nothing else from the state at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kaplan, go ahead and prepare the order, send it to me so I can sign it. Once I sign the order, parties will be sent a copy of the order. And if there's anything else, that concludes our hearing in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all very much. Parties are excused. Thank you. You can log out now. Thank you.